US flexing. Usually it's always around ideology, it's about ideology. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard about China's policy of quiet rise. Quiet rise just means that they seek to conquer the rest of the world without firing a shot. Most empires were built through gun violence, but China seeks knowledge advancement. So you will see that every time they're creating discomfort in the capitalistic systems, it's very deliberate. It's not something, like the Chinese are not people who are quote unquote, they don't plant onions, they plant olives. They say an olive will mature in 100 years, an onion matures in like 3 months. So look at them in terms of people who plant olives. They don't plant onions. They don't even have this nonsense of quarterly plans the way we do. Quarterly plans put a lot of pressure on everyone, government, uh, corporates, and you make a lot of mistakes. These guys are patient, they are intentional, and they are willing to put money into these projects while capitalistic systems want to take away. So anyway, let me not get too much into that, but I think it's an ideology war. It's not, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of things to say about it. I know we have Ms. Tracy. We don't want to take some of her time, but main thing you should look at is what is still happening in Africa and how they have cramped that place now with more power and more everything. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, so we will start today by talking about it's unfortunate we have to talk about it, but there were a couple crashes that have happened within 3 days of each other, and may the souls of the people who perished rest in peace. We are praying that this doesn't happen again. And in process of it not happening again means more training. So today we have our special guest, Ms. Tracy Atobatele. Sometimes I hope I didn't butcher it.
It's fine.
And I am Nigerian. Can you imagine that? But anyway,
it happens.
She will tell everyone about her because her certification, her years of experience, what she's accomplished is too much for me to say. So please, Mrs. Tracy, talk to us about what's going on. Introduce yourself and let's go from there.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Tracy Atobatele. I am currently a pilot, flight instructor. I also work at a company called CAE. CAE is the largest business jet training center in the world. So for them, I work as seat support with the goal of eventually becoming an instructor with them. Prior to being a pilot, I ventured into aviation in 2012. I started my aviation journey in 2012 as a flight attendant, and I did that for 4 years. While I was a flight attendant, I was a jet charter broker. I did a lot of ground staff work as well. And then while I was doing that, I had a fashion side hustle, like a fashion business that pretty much funded me even going to cabin crew school. And then that funded that. And then cabin crew, like me being a flight attendant for like 4 years, funded my flight training. So I've been a pilot since I got my first pilot license in 2017. And I pretty much rounded up everything like commercial pilot license in 2019, the way it would be if I was in Nigeria. So Nigeria and the US have very different systems when it comes to flying. If you do your flight training in Nigeria, you go all the way from 0 to 250 hours. You go for something called a type rating. A type rating can be likened to, let's say, for instance, you want to drive a Tesla. You go to the facility where you have trainers that are people that have driven the Tesla and have a lot of experience in Tesla and are trained to instruct and teach about the Tesla. You go there for about between a month to 3 months, depending on what company you're working for, and then you learn about everything about the Tesla, what to do if your Tesla stops or anything like. So that's called the type rating.
Right.
So you get a type rating in Nigeria, and then you go all the way straight to you just go from the type rating to the airlines. Here in the US, it doesn't work that way. In the US, because there was an accident sometime in 2009, thereabout, or 2006. I really don't have the exact date because it's not something that I like to think about a lot. A lady, there were two pilots. She was a co-pilot, and there's something that we do here called commuting, where you might live in Dallas, but you might have a base in New York. So she was commuting, and she ended up they ended up having a crash, and one of the contributing factors to that crash was fatigue. And FAA, which is the governing body for the airlines and everything about the airlines and aviation in the US, said that they felt that it didn't make any sense for people to leave straight out of flight school to go and fly the big jets. So they felt like, okay, when you finish and you finish your training, they felt like it was best for you to spend the next 1 or 2 years either teaching, doing crop dusting, flying people, skydivers, just anything that would make you have a lot of experience before being able to handle the jets.
Right. Okay.
So
Makes sense.
so that's pretty much, and then I pretty much presently now I'm in the process of teaching. I also do a little bit of contract flying when the need arises, because I'm on a jet called the Falcon. It's a French built aircraft. It's very solid aircraft, beautiful aircraft, if I must say so myself. So that's what I am currently doing now. When I'm not flying, I have started an organization here in the US for Nigerian pilots in the US and in Canada. And then we also have a mentee group where the pilots from the main group mentor the mentees. Those are people that came all the way from Nigeria or have lived here but are just starting their careers in aviation. So I have that, and that presently has about 100 pilots, 100 Nigerian pilots in the group.
Okay. Good. Wow. Okay, quick question. You are doing a lot. Sylvester, do you want to go first? Because she said something about she has a group of pilots that she mentors. Maybe you go first and maybe ask questions regarding to that. Then I can ask my own question because this is really good.
Yeah, not really much. Probably what would be really helpful, Tracy, and thank you for all that, is just to tell people who want to get into flying, they want to they want to be mentored. What are the steps to access your group? How do they get help? How do they fast track themselves? Because you will talk to a lot of people out here who express interest, which doesn't mean much. But there are people who are really committed to doing these things, but
I
they're
see
in
what
the
you
dark.
mean.
Yeah, they're in the dark. So these people who are really have that desire to do it, how do you then guide them into and you mainstream them into your group and help them out? Yes.
I would say, and I say this because I know that a lot of people, when they think about flying, the first thing they think about is, oh my goodness, I don't have the money. And I want to just make them understand, really, like, without even mising words, I was in those shoes for a lot of years. It took me 10 years to get from saving for flight school to actually going into flight school. So I would say, like, the first thing, of course, has to be interest, and then I believe like when people like have a dream and this is something that they hope to achieve, um money and funds and things like that is really never an obstruction, because you can be doing something else. You can be doing nursing, you can be like baking, you can be doing other things that would help you towards achieving the goal that you want to achieve. So I'll say, first and foremost, interest. Keep doing whatever it is that you find your hands to do right now, continue doing that. I would say it might help to take a discovery flight. A discovery flight is you going up with a very experienced instructor at a flight school or a flying club around you, and that's just for 30 minutes, so that you know how you feel when you're even up there, because some people don't have the stomach for it. So there is that. There is also, for me, I would say it's best for you to just at least try to get an FAA medical, because as much as you might love or want to fly, they are very particular about your medicals. They want to be sure that you are fit and healthy enough to even, be behind the controls and fly. So,
Africa's proper.
That's very true. So tell us a little bit about this thing about, you said a test drive or something like that. What kind of plane are they going to be on? How many people will be on it? What is a test drive? Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so a discovery is called a discovery flight. A discovery flight is just you going into the plane. You have the instructor on the right side of you. You are on the left, and for the planes they have like two controls. You can control, he can control, but of course, like he will do majority of it. But then it's always good when you have a feel for what is going on. So he takes you up. He shows you everything from because when you get to the plane first, there's something called a pre-flight, where you go around the plane and you check every single thing. There's also something called a checklist that you use. So like nothing, even though you know everything in your head, which is good to know where everything is and what to do, but you always have to go with the checklist, because anything can happen. You can skip something, and like flight schools are just very particular. So you go with the checklist, you check everything, you go into the plane, it teaches you how to taxi. Taxi is when it's like going from like you're going from your house now all the way to the express, like the major roads, the highways. You understand? So like that's what a taxi pretty much is. Getting in from your house, your small, like little roads and all of that, just to go to like the major roads. So that's like the runway. So he takes you up, he shows you how, like, all the different ways you can bank, you can, climb, you can descend, just little maneuvers. Some people want you to show them a stall, some people can, like, they really want that, so he shows you all of that. And then you're on the control for takeoff and on the control for landing. So you just have a feel of it. It's just for 30 minutes. And some people do that and they just get hooked and stuck, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to do anything else in my life. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So
okay, so you're saying when you take that test drive, right, you actually fly a little bit with you get a chance to fly a little bit with the pilot person, or are you saying you just
you get an opportunity to fly? Yes, you do.
Okay.
Because that's the whole purpose of you doing the discovery flights.
Right.
Because the goal.
Control.
Sorry.
You do control?
Yes, you are on the control. Yeah, on the controls.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, on the controls. Sorry.
On that, does anyone have any questions before we continue on the next step about the crashes we've been seeing and what's going on? She'll talk to us about aviation safety. But does anyone have any questions about interest about flying and all that, so we could get that taken care of? Samuel, are you trying to ask a question?
No, I'm just joining.
Oh, okay. So no questions? Okay. So Sylvester, over to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe sometimes when we look at this, Tracy, is that everybody here, one way or the other, has been in a plane, right? One way or the other, unless you were born here and you have never just traveled, right?
Yeah.
But there's a good chance you have flown, right?
Yes.
And looking at the role of air traffic control in the role, right, in this aviation safety and stuff like that. Lately, there has been a political angle to it. There is politics that is creeping into it. As somebody who flies, I'm concerned about that. But I know my level of concern would be as a consumer. So you as a professional, knowing the role of air traffic control and safety in aviation, how would you rather see this thing handled, and what in the wake of all the controversies and conversations surrounding it, what do you think we as travelers should expect in terms of how this thing eventually settles down? And should we basically be concerned about flying at the moment? Like, this is what I'm coming to. Or what?
Yeah.
How would you look at it? Yes, thank you.
I would say, honestly, even as an FA, like ATC controller, I think some people even get all their pilot licenses before you even finish training as an ATC controller. I have a family friend. He's Nigerian. She's Nigerian. She's based in Houston. She's an ATC controller, and it took Christine a while. I think about 4 years before she was able to get to the point where she can like walk in the control room. So it's, I don't want to say like it's sad what happened, but when I tell you that those ATC people don't play, they absolutely do not play. Like, they are very skilled. In short, sometimes when you are even like when I just first started flying, and you will be nervous, and you will be like, they'll be like, oh, you have to do a cross country by yourself. This is the first time you're going to have to do that, like going like 70 miles, 50 miles. And like you are just like going like there, sometimes you even have the ATC people like seeing that you're by yourself and calming you down. They already know, they can already tell. That's how much experience they have. Even before you do something, they're looking at you and they're like, sometimes even when they feel like you are about to, like, maybe they give you an instruction and you don't hear that, sometimes they're patient. Some of them are like, immediately they're like, no, if you don't do that, do this immediately. Like, they don't play. So I would say that crash that happened is something that, because I don't know if you have listened to it, if you've listened to the voice recording from them, and how he kept asking him multiple times, do you have the traffic inside? When he said, do you have the traffic inside, that just means, can you see the other plane? Can you see the other plane? Repeatedly, he must have said that thing like 3 different times. And the helicopter kept saying, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I'm not even trying to blame the helicopter either, because it's at night over the river. Just so many factors that played in that very unfortunate incident. So I would say, like, with everything that's happening and all the news going around about, the ATC people still remain extremely, nobody even wants that record. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even want that on their hands.
Right.
Sometimes they would even tell you, like, you would have a student pilot trying to do something, and the ATC would say, you know what, go back to your flight school and have your instructor come up to the tower. Like, that is how they take safety. So it's just really unfortunate. Before that incident, the 2 incidents that have happened in recent times, the last time there was like a major crash was like years ago, like 15 or 16 years ago. So I would say, for everybody that is intending to travel, for just if it's going to make you feel better, you can join, like, you can follow like aviation groups on Instagram, and just get a little bit more involved in understanding like the process. You can watch videos on YouTube. You can get on the plane and just ask the flight attendant that, you know what, I want to meet the pilot. Is that okay? Because that's something that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable. And the flight attendants would definitely, without a doubt, considering all that has happened in the last couple of days, will take you there. So once you put a face to who's flying it and a voice, I think that kind of makes you a little bit calmer. So you're not as scared as you would have been prior to meeting them.
Right. Thank you for that. Unfortunately, some politics crept in, so
Yes.
maybe we should, from what you know, I think they were being accused about DEI hires on the traffic controller group.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about that? Did that have anything to do with the kind of hire? Were they hiring people who are less qualified for it? Were they hiring people who, were probably not sure of their self, or were hired there just because of the color of their skin, or, maybe they changed who they were from man to woman, anything like that? Did that have anything to do with it?
I don't think so. I feel like you cannot single out a training for someone. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Everybody goes through the same training. So even if I'm like, oh, okay, even if I say, that's a breaking transmission. Even if I say, oh, okay, my friends Taiwan Kende, oh, let's go learn how to do this thing, and oh, let me pick another person, Christine, because Christine, yes, baby. Yeah. Christine is like maybe, as you would say, DEI higher. The
Yeah.
three of them would still go through the same training. The standards are already there. Like they cannot say, oh, Christine is going to be held to this standard and this other person will be held. No, you would all still go to through the same training. Where DEI comes in is more of for years. Majority of the people that have held positions, both in ATC and as pilots, have been of a certain race. You know what I mean? And they just feel right now we want to have an opportunity where people who are of other races feel like, okay, they can actually do this.
Yeah, get a chance,
Get
correct?
a
Yeah.
chance. So that is just what inclusion is all about.
Yeah.
Like prior to me even okay, prior to me even ever like going to flight training,
Yeah.
I had not met any female pilots. All the pilots that I knew were male until I got in
Yeah.
and I eventually met my first female pilot after flying for like 2 or 3 years. That's when I met the first, or after flying for like a year, sorry. That's when I met the first one. So
Wow.
sometimes, yeah. So sometimes it's really good, sorry. Sometimes it's really good for you to when you see people that look like you, talk like you, it kind of makes you feel like, you know what, I can actually do this.
Yes. 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 That it does.
If this person can do this, you know what, I'm not even scared anymore. I can 100% do this. I've been in various organizations before starting mine, and I cannot tell you how much those organizations have helped me because and those organizations are like Black Aerospace Professionals, SOS, Sisters of the Skies. Seeing them, seeing people that look like me, talk like me, are like me, doing amazing things, just kind of like, gingers you to like, I want to actually do what I said I would do and more. So that's just my own take.
To clarify what you're saying, it wasn't all about that, so
No.
politics shouldn't have to jump in here, but okay. Does anyone have any questions for Miss Tracy so that we could keep moving on, because there's so many things to this. So anyone who has any questions, please go ahead and ask your question. So okay, if no one has any question, so what are the advantages of being a pilot? Why should people join the group of?
I would say I do not think money should be one of the reasons why people should join, because even though pilots earn a lot, the amount of work it takes to even become one, you will get to the point where you will get so tired and frustrated on your journey that if money was your only motivation, you most likely wash out.
Okay.
I started out my training with.
But there is money there, though, right?
There is.
Because I know some who are really banking like on a whole different level than the average person, way beyond actually the average person. I know this guy in South who works for Southwest who's really
Yeah, Southwest pays a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So, but that guy's a captain now. So these are it's going to take you a while to get to captain. But I mean, you can do it.
Oh,
So
for sure. No, for sure. You
yeah.
can go to Southwest at 1,500 hours. That's like by the end of the year. If I wanted to go to Southwest, I can.
Mhm. I mean, so the joy of flying, I
Yeah.
know you get to go to different places,
Yeah.
but also almost free tickets to if you're flying with you.
That's also a perk. Yeah. And I'm not even going to I'm not going to even try to be humble about it because the reality is the reality. A lot of times when you put on that uniform, there's a lot of like respect that comes with it because a lot of people have the idea of what it has taken you to get to that point and how much what it has taken you to get to that point and how much skill and endurance you had to do to get there.
Yeah.
So it comes with a lot of that. It's a very prestigious career. It's a very rewarding career. The view from up there is amazing. For me, I feel like when I'm up there, I feel like I'm closest to God. That's just how I feel. So it's a blessing.
That's good. That's good. Anyway, so if people want to come see you, check you out, do you have a location where we could come and see you and what your schedule like? Because there's nothing like seeing somebody like our own flying and giving
Yeah.
instruction and boss lady moves and it's a great feeling, right? It's a great feeling because you've done it so much. I've seen your YouTube page. I'm sorry, the Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
Amazing things that you're doing, and it's like, man, all the live broadcasts you've had and all these people interviewing you, I'm like, there is something about Miss Tracy that
I hear you. I
So
hear you.
where if we want to come see you, when is your next scheduled time to fly or instruct? Because you're an instructor also.
Yeah. So for now, because this is like I was even going to say thank you to you, honestly, because I know we had a discussion yesterday and I told you like I was ill for the last couple of like 10 days, pretty much. And this is my first time actually dressing up and sitting down to like have a conversation. So thank you so much for pulling me out of like
Yeah,
laying down and just like trying to rest and all of that. So for me, because I'm just recovering, I wouldn't be maybe the next time I'm going to go to the facility, but I wouldn't be doing any like seat support or anything would be Monday. And I'm just going there just to just touch base.
right.
And then I'll be traveling for like pretty much the rest of from the middle of the month all the way till I'll be back fully by God's grace somewhere around April.
That's fine. We'll wait it out. I mean,
Yes,
we'll wait.
so
I mean,
yes.
people want
So
to come see a flight instructor. People want
yeah.
to see a pilot that looks like us. So when we're talking, Africans have this unified mentality.
Yeah.
It helps give people the advantage to say, you know what, I have a desire. I'm not sure, but when I talk to Miss Tracy, she makes me feel like I can do it.
Oh yeah.
Do it. What's involved. You probably get financial aid and all this
Oh yes.
scholarship. Because when people talk to you, then it makes it more believable,
For
more.
sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
because now if you try to do it, they put you through all these things that it's true, but just hearing it from somebody else makes you feel like, you know what, let me just go do what everybody else is doing because.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of unique people who want to do unique things. It's just that they don't know who to seek.
Yes.
get that done. And that's some of the problems we face. So what we're trying to do is to take that out of the equation and we try to help people land where they should rightfully land. So you say you will be available in April, then yeah, we'll do. What location are you in? What city?
Right, I'm in Arlington now, but I'll most likely be in Mansfield in April.
Mansfield, Texas. Okay. So
Mansfield.
for now, you are going to be in Arlington, Fort
Yes.
Worth. Right?
Yes. No, Arlington, Texas. Arlington, Texas, yeah.
Arlington,
But
okay. So it's
yeah,
not a combination of both of them. It's not.
no.
Okay.
The school that I go to, and like if somebody wanted to do like a discovery flight prior to me being at the school, they like 100%. I can call the school up. I can organize any like all of that. I can send them links that they can use to book their like Groupon so that they can get like a discount because everybody loves a good
Yeah,
discount.
we like discounts.
So I can give them the links, all of that. They are amazing instructors there. In short, like like instructors that I'm even learning from. Like I have my favorite instructor that has over 2,000 hours.
Hours.
Yes, 2,000 hours. Yes,
Yeah. So
like maybe 1,000. Yes, yeah.
guys, if you're just joining, Tracy is talking about
I see.
doing a flight investigational first flying, and you would get the chance to control the plane with the flight instructor and do everything. And it shouldn't cost you more than I'll say maybe $200, right? Something like that, right? And
Yes,
you
200.
get on a plane, a small engine plane, and you fly and you get to control the plane and see if you like being in the air and controlling the plane just for a little bit while the flight instructor is right there with you, and you could see if it's something you want to do. Sometimes you could just do it for the fun of it and never go back, but just try it and see, so it's just something I think everyone should try. So as we're saying, you will be in Arlington for now. Then in April,
Yes, I would be in
Mansfield.
Mansfield. Yes, but
Okay.
I would be at the flight school literally almost every day in April. From April, like April, May, I'll be there like literally almost every day.
And the schedule is what? Do you fly on Saturdays or Monday through Friday?
So you don't have like you pretty much make the schedule according to your student and their
Okay.
availability.
Okay. Okay. And what kind of planes are you guys using? Can you describe it for people so they could understand?
It's the Piper Cherokee.
Piper Cherokee.
Yeah.
Can somebody find that plane? Let's see what it looks
PA
like.
28-161.
So it's called
PA Papa Alpha Piper Cherokee. PIPER. That's Papa India Papa Echo Romeo.
Piper Cherokee. Okay.
Yes.
Then what is the code for PA what?
PA 28-161.
PA 28-161.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's a low wing airplane.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is one that was made 1961 to present. Okay. And let me share my screen, but obviously I know it's been updated.
Yeah. So that's how I was going to say that. That's when they started manufacturing it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that all the planes are.
Is that correct? Right here. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes,
So
that is it.
It's been manufactured since 1961 to present, right?
Yes. It's a very, 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 like I've flown a bunch of planes, like the 152s, 150s, 172s, 182s, but I would say this plane, when I first started, I was like, I don't think I want to deviate from what I was flying before, but it's a very solid plane, like especially for turbulence, like you don't really feel it as much as opposed to other light aircrafts.
Right. As opposed to other light aircraft, okay.
Yes.
It's a single engine plane, right?
Yes, single engine, yes.
Okay. Interesting. So for those of you who don't know what it looks like, this is exactly what it looks like. Do you know the newer model from the older model? Can you tell?
The school that I am affiliated with, they have the maintenance guys right at the flight school.
Okay.
So whether or not, to be honest, whether a plane is old or is new, a lot of parts can be changed as long
Yeah.
as it's maintained really, really well.
Okay. Okay. It is fun. Let me see. What does interior look like? Interesting. So for anybody who wants to see what it looks like, am I right to say this is it?
Let me see.
Hold on, let me.
Most of them, like the majority, you would say they all yes.
Okay, good. So one person goes here.
Yes.
Where do you stay? Do you stay on the left-hand side
I
or
stay on the right
you
because I'm
stay?
a flight instructor. Yeah, I stay on the right.
Okay, then the instructor stays right here.
Yes.
Okay, then the
No, no,
controller.
no. The student stays on the left. Then I
Okay,
stay on the
so
right. Yes.
student stays right here. Okay.
Yes.
Then the pilot stays and instructor stays right here. Okay.
Yes. But it's the opposite. Like when you get to the airline, the captain stays on the left.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And this plane could carry.
It depends on your weight. Because there's something called weight and balance that you do before you fly. Every time you're about to go on a flight, like you would know how much you weigh, I weigh if I'm going to be
Yeah.
flying. Um,
So the max weight is lift weight is what, 500? Oh, do you know?
no,
Five
so
pounds?
it's okay. So when you do, it's like there's a CG limit,
Okay.
right? So there's like by the time you do the calculations, it should be within the envelope.
Okay.
To
Okay.
me, I would just say don't. I wouldn't put like three three guys that are like 6 feet, maybe 6 feet three and like 200 or 300 pounds. I
Yeah.
would put three people that are like that in that plane.
Well, in that case, you people are your own, no? Because you just be the pilot and the distant. Because some of us may, chill, you know.
It can fit 4 people, but like you can have like two, like maybe heavy people, and
Right.
then maybe like kids, 2 kids behind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, of course.
That
Does
kind of.
anybody else have any questions before we let Miss Tracy go? She's been here with us and she's been so gracious. I wanted to have a 30 minutes and we've been almost an hour, so that's not fair.
Okay.
No questions. And now, if you are shy to talk, remember you could just text or sort of type in your message in the chat box, and we'll go from there.
I have a question.
Let's have a question. Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right. Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. So I just
Good.
curious, right? I know you have to do a lot of studying, and also to maintain your license. How is it when you have kids? That's my biggest question. How do you keep your mind clear when you have kids?
I'm sure like you could tell. I don't know if you have kids, but you could tell from like when we started this interview, like so the thing is okay, there's actually a video that I have of me and him when I was studying, because at a point I just had to involve my son. I'm like, you know what, sit down here and I'll keep showing him things and teaching him things. And I guess when he's a bit, it's not easy, but I try to make it fun. So like I'm not just saying, oh, I don't want to study because he's here and I'm stressed out. I'll just say, you know what, come, let's do it together. And then we'll do it together. And now he'll say, what is this? And I'll say it. He'll say, what is this? And I'll say, he would hold his like little stick and then he'll point to different, even if he points to the same thing 100 times. So I'll say, yeah. So that's the way I like try to do it. It's not easy, but I would say like it's great when you have like a fantastic support system around you. I wouldn't even lie. It's really, really great because, but just take one step at a time and just try to find, like, even if it's an hour a day, don't overwhelm yourself. 2 hours a day to study, if and when you can. Just find a way.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, Mr. D, you had a question.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. I got late.
It's
I got
okay.
a couple of questions.
Okay.
So is there an age restriction? I mean, I'm 52 years old, right? So does it make any sense for me to go be a pilot at 52 to go start flight school?
It depends on what you decide to do eventually. So for the airlines, the cap is 65. You don't fly past 65. So I would say and then there are a lot of factors that are involved. If you had all your money, let's say you have because it would cost you anything from, I always say 70, to 100, to $100,000. So I would say if you had a loan, or you had that money set down, and you didn't have any distractions, any of all those things, and you are able to focus, and let's say I was going to be your guide or your mentor, there are things that I'll tell you to do prior to even going there on the first day. So if you're able to do every single thing and finish within a year, go instruct for 2 years. So that's 3, let's say 4 years. By the time you're 55, you go to the airlines. You have 10 years to make the most of it. You make captain within those 10 years. You might even get to the majors. That's United, Delta, American within those 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you that's if everything falls into place and you do the work, you are dedicated, you are you know what, I don't even care. I must forge head on, take this head on. So
Yeah. Quick question, D, before you ask that question. For D, does he have to be a pilot or can he just decide to be a flight instructor?
oh yes, there are people that are lifetime instructors. There are people that have gone on to be Gold Seal. Gold Seal is when you have a very high pass rate, and the FAA gives you a Gold Seal for. And in the group that I formed, we have 7 Nigerian pilots that are Gold Seal pilots because they had the really high pass rates with their students. So you can do that, and people would pay you good money, you know what I mean, to do a mock check ride for them. You can actually even be a DPE. There's also that. So a DPE, that's a designated pilot examiner. There are people that give you the test to actually get the license.
Okay.
So a DPE, I'll tell you, for my last check ride, I paid my DPE 1,500. Before we even started, he was like, please, can I have my money? Took the money, counted it, and made sure that it was 1,500 cash. Put it down. He can do 2 check rides in a day. So you can just imagine how much money he would earn in a month. So you can be a DPE, you can own your own flight school, there's also private jet charter flying. You can actually go that route, and you can do that. You can be a private jet pilot up until your medical, maybe you have God forbid, a heart condition or something, and they feel like you're not fit to fly anymore. So you have can be 70, still flying, 75, as long as you're fit. So.
Wow. What was your other question, D?
Yeah, that was that's the only question I had. Thank you.
Yeah,
I used to work in the aviation sector as a flight dispatcher many years ago in Nigeria.
oh, that's really good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for all you do, because I know you must have done a lot.
Thank you. Yeah. So some of my colleagues then that wanted to be pilots have been captains for
Wow.
almost 20 years. But and
It
to your
doesn't
point,
matter.
yeah, and to your point, when you were talking about aircraft being old earlier, what a lot of people don't know is that, an aircraft can be 50 years old. Everything inside it can be completely new.
Yes.
Maintaining aircraft is very, very different from, how we maintain cars and manage parts. For aircrafts, just a small scratch alone, they put in a new part completely.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
You're
Thank you.
very
And thank you
welcome. You're very welcome.
for encouraging others and for what you do as well.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do as well. Well done.
I know there was somebody else who raised their hand up before Samuel.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Lana.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
Hi.
It was actually me who raised my hand. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I've raised my hand for a while now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Phyllis. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so this question is from my son, right?
Okay.
So he's 14 right now, and he has the
Fantastic
hopes of
age.
being a pilot. Yeah. So right now, I would say I don't know how to start because
Okay.
he's still in junior high, and
Um,
So what do you think? Are there courses that he should be focusing on?
yes.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
because he's 14, I'll say the first thing he would start off with would be glider, would be a glider license, a glider pilot's license.
Glider.
Okay.
Can somebody
Glider,
type that
yeah.
over? Let me see.
Yeah, because that's all he can do at that age. A glider's pilot's
Okay.
license. He can go to there are a lot of schools. There's an organization called Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals and they have a school that they're affiliated with. And in that school, you can go if you write like an essay or something, you can
Uh-huh.
go to the school and
Uh-huh.
they pick you or choose him. He
Okay.
can go in the summer. It's called Tuskegee, I think Tuskegee
Emma.
next or something. Tuskegee next. So I have to
Tux-
just confirm. Yes,
Okay.
you
Okay.
can go
Okay.
there, and then in the summer, all he would do is he would go for classes, do everything, and then by the time he's done with the summer, he would solo. So it's called like a solo. Is a Luke Weathers. So sorry, Luke Weathers Solo Academy. Luke Weathers.
Okay.
Luke Weathers Solo Academy. So if he does that, that keeps him like a little bit closer to getting a private pilot's license. He can't get a private pilot's license until he can get it on his 17th birthday.
Okay.
Yes, but he cannot get it before.
Okay, so that's the glider license, right? That's what
Yes,
you
he
Okay.
can start off because that's like
Glider license.
yes. If
I
my
put it
Okay.
son,
down here
sorry,
on the chat, guys. The glider license. So if you Google it, it will tell you that it's a government issued certificate that allows the holder to fly gliders.
yes,
You grow
yes,
from there.
Question. Are you saying he can do that at the age of 14 now?
yes, yes, he can do that at
Okay.
14. Yes,
Okay.
like that's like if my son has been around airplanes since he was I don't even remember. Like he has just been always around. And I always say like if he ever my joy would be that he chooses that profession, but if he doesn't, that's fine. And if he ever decides that that's what he wants to do, that's the first thing that I'm gonna start him off on. Mama, I want to
Okay.
see. Yes.
Thank you.
You're very
After
welcome.
Samuel, then we'll have Sumi. All right, Samuel, go ahead, bro.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. So I used to be a flight. I used to work as a flight planner in San Antonio
Oh,
before.
fantastic.
Yeah, I
Well
was
done.
an assistant aircraft. I was an assistant aircraft planner before I joined the military,
Oh,
and
nice.
then yeah, so I ditched that career. But it's just for my understanding. I just want to know for my own knowledge.
Okay.
Like when you're in the here, we know everything is going automated now. So
Yeah.
when you're in the here, like
Yes.
how long do you even have to control? Because I know they said there's autopilot, just like
Yes.
Tesla driving. So, but how long do you have? I know you still have to be alert,
Yeah.
to make sure you know everything going
Yeah.
on. But like how long? Let me say, how long do you have to steer yourself in the air? Let's say you're flying an 8 hours flight.
Okay. It all depends. I feel like from like of course takeoff,
Yeah,
hand
take off and
and
landing.
all of
Yes.
that. Then you
Yes.
get to like maybe a certain because the checklist will tell you get to a particular altitude and then you disengage the autopilot. Right. So you engage the autopilot, sorry. And once you engage the autopilot, you then start like you would have briefed on the ground like what your plans are, but then you immediately start like, okay, what is the next thing? We're changing frequency. What are we doing next? Like it's a bunch of things that you're doing. What are the waypoints? Okay, you might have planned this route, like I'm going to go from maybe Yaba all the way to VI, and they'll tell you like, you know what, you can't go that way again, or maybe you should try this other way because maybe there's weather on the way or there's something on the way, something that just makes you so you're constantly like you're listening on the radios to know what all the other pilots are doing. You know what I mean? Just to just be alert. Yeah, like it's not like you're just there sitting down. There'll be times where you can relax, don't get me wrong, but it's not every time like you're just like, oh, let's play with our phones or oh, let's sing. Yeah, constantly somebody yes, baby. Okay. Somebody has to be. I'm so sorry. Mama. Somebody has to be. Yeah, I'll give you.
So there's no specific timing, right? That's what.
Yes. Somebody
Yeah.
has to be in the controls.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're
Oh
welcome.
my God, that's lovely.
Thank you, Samuel, for that.
Thank you.
Sumi.
Okay. Hi, Tracy. How
Hi,
you doing?
nice to meet. I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so exciting to hear from you. I used to be a cabin crew too. I flew for over 4 years. So
Nice,
I can
fantastic.
actually, yes, relate to everything you're saying. I
We are
mean,
going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Hold
You
on.
get it?
so yes. So I just want to say thank you for coming on board. And I will also want to
Thank you for
ask,
having me.
since I have gone through, I've had experience quite well,
Yes.
in cabin crew, being a cabin
Yes.
manager.
Yes.
If I want to sign in, not to be a pilot though, like, is there any course relating to cabin managers and all of that I could take on a professional level based on my experience? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something called okay, so I'm going to talk about scholarships now, and because scholarships have played a very big role in like, okay, I got when I finished all my licenses in 2019, every other license that I wanted to get, I just did everything I could to get the scholarship for. So there's an organization called Women in Corporate Aviation. That's something that I feel that you can join. They have like management courses, or they have even like they have some cabin crew courses, but as scholarships that they give from like people, like the courses are like maybe $6,000 like in value. Some are like maybe $4,000 in value. It's just something that if you are a part of that organization and of course you are a part of and you participate in, and those scholarships do come up, you can actually like log on and try to get those scholarships, because I feel like they are really good, because those people that train actually give them at like a discounted rate. So even I don't even think the worth is actually the 4,000. I think it's worth more. So that's somewhere that you can start from. But here I don't. The only thing I've seen about cabin crew here is like maybe cabin crew trainers for like where I work now. I know there was a time. Yes. Good job. There was a time that they had like an opening for like a cabin manager. So there are two companies, there's CAE and then there's Flight Safety. So both of them from time to time have those roles out. So if that's something that you want to log on to, that would be really good as well.
Is there a place where she could go to get that information so that will help her out?
I can always she can always send me I would leave my Instagram, my email, all of that. So if you want to reach out to me, I can give you like the names so that you can look it up, and then I can also do my findings and let you know when I find out like more information.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. You're very welcome.
I will add it right now so that everyone could reach out and see what you're doing. Because I'm adding your Instagram, so
No problem.
just follow her on her Instagram. If you have questions, send her a message directly. And you could also see other things that she's doing. Does anybody else have any questions before we hand it over to Mr. Sylvester? Okay, Mr. Sylvester, please take us out. August Sylvester, are you there? Okay, no problem. So again, any more questions? Is there anything you'd like to know about flying? Anything about? We've talked about aviation safety. We've talked about scholarship. We've talked about the joys of flying and how you could get involved. And I've posted her Instagram, so you can click on that part and get this show going. August Sylvester, are you there? One more time. I know you're always busy. All right. So, Tracy, thank you so much for.
No problem. It was an honor being on in this group to like discuss about something that I am really passionate about. And I pray that whoever has it in their heart to pursue aviation or even, it doesn't even have to be aviation, anything that they're pursuing. I pray that, you know, everything aligns for them in ways that they cannot even imagine, you know. So thank you so much for having me. God bless you. And so thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hold on. So with that being said, again, her information is out here. If you need to check her out, click on it, save it, and follow her. Apart from that, I think we are good. We're happy. Thank you so much. If you appreciated Miss Tracy being here, please, you know, you can tell her thank you now and text it on chat box.
Thank you, Mika. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Thank
No
you so much.
problem. All right. Have a great day. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.